I am going to show you how I refret a guitar. And what I have here in front of me is a 1958 Fender Stratocaster, maple neck, with the original frets on here. They are wore out. And what I wanted to show you first off was the guitar itself. And this has the original nut, and everything else is original on it. And so what I'm going to do is first off, I'm going to make sure that it's in pitch. And so one of the first things that I do before anything is I tune it up, and I have to look down the neck to make sure it's straight. And then also what I want to do is take a measurement. I use a 6-inch ruler with 64ths and 32nds on it. And what I do is I measure it so that I know where I want to go back to. And I pretty much can remember everything that I see when I first work on the guitar. And so what I do is I get the guitar and I measure it at the 12th fret, the top of the fret. I put the ruler, and then I measure down to the bottom of the string. And right now I've got like 3 plus 32nds of an inch, and then I also have 3 32nds of an inch at the 1st fret. Then I take a measurement of the 2nd string. I've got 3 32nds, and then I take a measurement of the G string. It's less than 3 32nds. And then I take a measurement of the D. It's at 2.5 32nds. And then I take a measurement of the A. It's 2.5. And then the big E is 3 plus. And then I take a measurement at the 1st fret. It should be a 64th. This is a 64th of an inch plus 64th, 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 64th. And that's what I normally set the height at the nut, is 1/64th of an inch all the way across, except for the big E. I usually put a 64th plus. And the reason I do a plus on it is because the string is bigger round. It flops more when you hit it. It has a tendency to move more, and it has more mass. And so sometimes if it's right at 64th of an inch, it'll have a tendency to start buzzing at the 1st fret. So that's why I do a plus. Now I say plus, it does not mean a 64th and a half. It does not mean any more than what I just said. It's a 64th of an inch plus. You'll have to use your own judgment. You have to use your own eyeball. I know where it is when it says plus and what I want. If it's a little bit too higher than the plus that I want, then I bring it down more, but never 1/64th. It's always more than that. So that's why I say plus. And that's just the big E. And then over here at the 12th fret, I usually like to do it 2.5 32nds on the bass side, which is the 6, 5, and the 4, and then 2 32nds on the G, B, and E. That's a normal setup as far as height. I would not go any lower than that. If I go any lower than that, it's because the guitarist wants it that way, and they have to deal with the noise or the buzz or whatever. That's their thing. It's not my thing. So I make it to where it plays correctly and it doesn't fret out. And also when you bend the string up here, that doesn't fret out. It's okay that makes a little bit of noise, but it's string noise. It's not a buzz. There's a difference between string noise and a buzz. You have to figure that out, but I'm just telling you how I do it, and that's how I'm doing it now. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the camera in my hand so that you can see what I'm talking about when it comes to straightening out the neck and how I see it as far as what I think a neck should be as far as straight. A neck should be straight from here to here, so that when the angle of the string comes from the saddle, comes down, it comes down as such. And it's different when you hit it here, it's different when you hit it here, and all the way up the frets. So from here to here, the last fret, this angle here to here is different here and here and here and here and here, all the way down to there. So this angle here, all the way down to there, and there's no bow in here, no relief as they call it. A relief is just a form of loosening the neck so there's a little bit of a bow so that there's no buzzing going on. And so you're just trying to take the buzz away by giving it relief. well, that's just a Band-Aid then. It's not curing the problem. That's what we're doing here. We're refretting it because we want this thing here to play correctly at low as we can go, and all the frets are level. How I sight down the neck is this way. I never look at it from the other end to here. And the reason why I do it this way is that I can make sure that what I see is the actual neck itself, the straightness of it. And the other end, if I do it that way, I have a tendency for my eyes have a tendency to see an illusion, and I don't see the actual neck. And that's just me, but like I say, this is how I do it, and that's what I look at. So I look at this, and the guitar is tuned to pitch, and I look at the neck, and I make sure that the neck itself is straight. So I look at both sides. From here, I can actually see the neck is bowed just a tiny bit, and it's bowed this way. It's bowed like this, just a little bit, okay? The other thing that I do is I also employ a straight edge. So I lay the straight edge on the fingerboard, and obviously what I have is I make sure there's no obtrusion, make sure the pickups are not hitting up anything, and it's just this laying on the fingerboard itself on top of the frets. And I lay it in the middle, and then I look at it. But I look at it from the side, and I get real close, I get my magnifier glasses, and I look from the side, and I make sure that everything is dead on. So it's hitting at the last fret, and it's hitting at the first fret. And then if there's any space in between, then that's when I go and tighten up the truss rod to make it perfectly straight. That's what I use this for. This tells me that it is straight, because I know this straight edge is perfectly straight. I just want to get it as straight as possible so that when I start filing these frets, after I put the new ones in, that everything is good.